The Cypress Cove Residence Workshop is nearly as old as Cypress Cove itself. The grand opening ceremony for the Life Plan community of Cypress Cove took place on March 28, 1999. Residents started moving in a week later, and within months, the Residence Workshop, the dream child of two of those early residents, was born, making it the first resident group or club to be formed. It actually helped supply some of the finishing touches to the building itself. Listen as one of its founders, 94-year-old Charles Greskovich, reminisces.
They claim that you're the guy that actually started the workshop.
Well, not quite, but let me explain something to you.
All right.
There was 15 of us assigned to living in this quarters here, and one of the fellows was already here a couple of days before I was. Yeah, Holmes Eartley was the guy's name. So he and I started this shop here, but 3 weeks later, Holmes Eartley passed away. He went to the big fella. Yeah. So I kind of had the place all to myself. Yeah.
So how did the idea come? I think one of the things that makes Cypress Cove unique is that there's so many of these groups or clubs that are like, they're resident clubs. They're not Cypress Cove sponsored, they're sponsored by the residents. So how did you even get the concept of a workshop?
Well, we felt a place like this needed a shop like this. Not for the people, gentlemen who work here to help out or help out all the others. They had regular maintenance people, but they didn't do the fine work. Here we take time to do the fine work. Every one of them, they're out. And it works well, yeah.
So, where are you originally from?
I'm from Western Massachusetts, a town called East Hampton. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
I was born and raised here. But then when I was 18 years old, I went in the Air Force. Stayed in the Air Force for 20 years and 1 month. Yeah. So I did a lot of the stuff. I seen Korea, I seen Vietnam, I seen Thailand, all the islands out through there. Stationed in Japan for a long time. Yeah.
What year were you born?
December 22nd, 1929. Yeah.
Do you remember what year it was that you started the workshop here?
Well, the year we moved in here.
1999.
Yeah. Because, well, Holmes Early was here, and he's the one started, but like I say, he was here for 3 weeks, and he passed away. Yeah.
Was it in this space that you started right here?
Right here, yeah.
I'll be darned. Well, it must have been a rather large empty room back then.
That's what it was, just a large empty room. Like you take the tabletop here. You see this tabletop?
Yeah.
What do you got? It came from the hospital next door. They were fire doors. And they asked if we wanted them. I went out and looked for them. I said, yeah, we could do that. And we made a tabletop like that. Yeah. Well, not only myself, but there's other people here. There's a whole list of them that were here, and some of them are gone already, yeah.
So I got a feeling that there weren't quite this many tools in 1999.
There was hardly any tools. Just the basic tools we had. They gave me a free rein of going buying stuff, especially the power tools. So I went to buy power tools, bring the stuff, set them up there, yeah. Holmes Eartley, he was quite a character. He was a sulky driver. You know what a sulky driver is?
Yeah, so he must have been a small guy.
He was a small guy. Out in California, yeah. We made a television reception center that he could slide out of his apartment window and get a television straight from California, all the sulky races. He was quite a character. Yeah. So our first job we did here, between us, was building the bocce court.
Of all the things you've seen built here, does anything jump out at you as something that was magical?
Well, we built staircases for the main, for the Edison Hall. We built staircases there. We built the storage racks. Almost every storage barrier here, we built the storage racks for them here. We even have a storage rack built for the wine cellar. You know, I'm not going to tell you where the wine cellar is. Well, there's only one error that we did, because we measured the heights of the doors that open to go in there, all these different storage areas, except this one right next to the Edison Hall. We brought the rack, we built it here, we brought it up there, it wouldn't fit, it was too high. It's the only thing we goofed up on measuring it. So we came back here, cut it off, the tip off, put it back in there, and it worked pretty good. Yeah, it's still there now, the storage racks.
All right.
The year we moved in, August 15th, 1999. Yeah.
Well, you must feel good when you look around the shop and see how it's grown since you.
Well, fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it happened. And every one of these guys knows what to do and do it no problem. No hassle, no nothing. A lot of questions are asked, what if we did it this way or did it this way? So we explain one to the other, and we come up with answers ourselves, yeah. Nothing complicated. Headquarters doesn't bother us. Yeah, we're very well on ourselves. Well, when I was getting heavy equipment like saws, and we had a joiner, we had to get rid of joiner because it was too loud. We had to close the door when we ran the joiner. The people outside up the hall were complaining.
And from there, more people wanted to come, and like Chuck here bought all his equipment when he came, and most of us bought tools with us, and that's a lot of what you see on the walls around here.
So you're considered like a group or a club, like the yacht club and the workshop.
Yeah, we're not part of Cypress Cove at all. We're a separate
Do you have
entity.
officers, leaders,
Yeah,
teachers?
yeah. I'm president, Chuck's vice president, and Henry's treasurer,
Okay.
and everybody just kind of does what they do. Some people do some things better than others. So yeah.
A good example is this right here. It's a lathe that I brought, and that's a bowl that I've turned and finished. And it takes several weeks to get one of those things completed.
This looks like a very professional piece of equipment.
Well, it is. It's the top of the line Powermatic, top of the line lathe, and it can turn something. It's got a number 2442. It can turn a 2-foot diameter or 42-inch long piece. So we can turn just about anything that's round.
And this bench here, he's using the scroll saw right now.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Bruce Dressback.
I take it you're a resident.
I'm a resident, and I work on the jigsaw a lot.
Yeah.
Right now I'm cutting the 12 Days of Christmas again.
Oh yeah, I've seen that display.
Yeah, well, it's a little bigger than this one. But I'm not really a wood shop worker. I was a dentist for 44 years.
Aha! Did you build teeth?
I drilled teeth. I drill other things here now once in a while.
That's wonderful.
Okay, well, welcome to the wood shop.
Thank you.
Workshop.
Yeah, thank you.
The bandsaw here, that's one of the things that we purchased. And over here we have a sander, so we can sand some pretty good sized stuff. Right behind it is a safety saw that we use.
That's the one you can put your finger in and it'll stop. It won't cut you.
Really?
Yeah. We have 7 regulars that are here just about every day, and they're the people you see today.
And this man's practicing putting a lid on a can of paint.
That's right. He has graduated from brown paint to white paint.
And then Chuck's trying to make things look. You're really making things look professional. You're going to work with diagrams.
Yes, we're making a layout for Pearl's Closet, for the improvement of Pearl's Closet.
Oh.
And the only tool I'm using this morning is the pencil here.
Chuck, what was your profession before here?
In my previous life, I was an architect.
Aha. So you know how to read those things.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And make them.
And make them. Well, okay, what if somebody wanted to needed some help on having something repaired?
We do that all the time.
How do they contact you?
They just walk through the door there, and whatever they have with them, we fix.
Okay.
And a lot of it's lamps and things like that, but we have repaired anything that's you can think of that's in an apartment, we repaired it. If it's not hooked onto the wall, we can fix it.
Have you ever built any furniture in here?
Oh, goodness, yes.
I've got some pictures I'll show you later.
All right.
We also do watch batteries. Electric watches, that's Henry's job.
All right.
She has an inventory of all kinds of batteries. Bring it in, he does it.
Do you charge anything for all this
Charge
wonderful
only
work?
for the supplies.
Just the parts.
Just the parts.
So,
Yeah, we live on the contributions that people make. We'll give somebody an invoice for the parts or whatever we have to purchase, and we expect them to pay that, and then if they want to give us a gratuity, we will gladly accept it, and that's what we live on here, is the gratuities. The Cypress Cove gives us the square footage here, and we repair everything for everybody, including Cypress Cove.
Okay.
So we do a lot of work for Cypress Cove. We just made 5 big boxes for them to put some electrical equipment in last week. So we're pretty active.
What are some of the more unusual jobs that have been brought to you or that you've taken on?
we build a lot of oddball bookshelves and things for odd places. There's a corner shelf we're making right now. It fit in a specialty place, and that tile has to be cut. Another person wants a tile top on their shelf.
Chuck, what did you do in your former life before Cypress Cove?
Well, I'm a mechanical engineer, and I worked for several companies. I worked for 3M, I worked for Argonne National Laboratories, and I went to work for GE. And one day walking down the hallway, I made a wrong turn and wound up in marketing. So I spent the rest of my career in marketing. I've always wanted to work with my hands, and when I retired, I decided I would go ahead and start making a few things, and I started making furniture. And then I bought a lathe. I was making a big grandfather clock, and I needed that for the pillars in the front of it. And so I bought a lathe and got the next size lathe and the next size lathe, and I wound up with this thing here. And it's been my hobby ever since, working with my hands, and it's fun, it's enjoyable.
And Don, what about you? What did you do in your former life before Cypress Cove?
Just build things. That's all I've done from the time I was in grade school on. My dad was a builder, and so I did. Became a partner when I was 18, and
Partner in what?
in the business. I
Okay.
was self-employed, in other words,
All
at
right.
that point. And my dad only went to 8th grade, yeah. So I got to do all the figuring and how to do stuff. He knew how to put stuff together. He was a good mechanic, but he couldn't do it ahead. So from there, I just built the business. It's still running. My son has it. So since 1941, it's been a continuous business.
What's the name of it?
Green Cove.
Okay.
Green Cove Inc.
So there you have it, a visit to the residents' workshop at Cypress Cove. We've learned about the history of the workshop, and we've met those who tinker there. So I'll end by showing a few of the pieces they've crafted over the years. Many of you will recognize the handcrafted items that adorned the hallway display cabinets last year, along with several other pieces created at the bequest of residents who asked for their help. If you have a need, the workshop is located at the Rotunda in the harbor. Hope you have a good day, and thank you for watching.